Welcome back to My Vision News. Another video for you. First news story is about a statement from Eritrean representative at the UN, Sophia Tesfamariam, who spoke a few hours ago. She criticized TPLF and those who are backing TPLF. She implied that TPLF is regrouping, that Tigray fighters are regrouping. Secondly, Oromia region of Ethiopia, Ethiopian National Defense Force convoys are pouring in Oromia. Large number of ENDF troops are entering western Oromia, Valaga. Details for you. Thirdly, a Baldiras party member has been arrested by security forces today, and the soldier, Ethiopian Federal Force soldier who killed a member of parliament from Somali region around 2 months ago, was sentenced to death today. Firstly, viewers, Eritrean representative at UN in a statement yesterday lashed out at TPLF and those who are backing TPLF. Yesterday, Dr. Tedros of WHO tweeted and he said that Eritrean forces were continuing their atrocities against civilians in Tigray. And then Sophia Tesfamariam spoke as well. She said that TPLF was supposed to disarm according to cessation of hostilities agreement signed in November. But TPLF is resorting to misinformation, disinformation, and it is trying to find excuses. And those who are handlers of TPLF, quote unquote, handlers of TPLF are trying to stall the implementation of a peace deal, and they are providing TPLF with excuses while TPLF regroups. So this is Eritrean official position now, that TPLF is trying to regroup, that Tigray fighters are trying to regroup, that implementation is not going according to the plan, and that the countries mediators from EU and US, they are stalling the implementation of the peace deal, while Tigray says that disarmament and withdrawal of foreign forces and non-ENDF forces should be concurrent, as was agreed in Nairobi, Kenya. You see that both sides are taking conflicting positions about implementation of peace deal, but both sides are confirming that peace deal could not be completely implemented. Some sections implemented, some still not implemented. Eritrean claim that TPLF backers are trying to give TPLF an opportunity to regroup is a serious allegation. Is any regrouping underway in Tigray? Ethiopian federal government has not said a word about TPLF regrouping in Tigray. So why is Eritrea saying that? I mean, ENDF is in command, at least now after the signing of the agreement. ENDF, Tigray government, they are in talks. And they are in collaboration as well. They are gradually implementing the deal. ENDF, Ethiopian federal government, they're not saying that Tigray fighters are regrouping. Why is Eritrea saying that? It seems that both Tigray and Eritrea, Tigray region and Eritrean government, both are involved in exchange of mutual accusations. So the position of both sides seem to be away from facts on the ground. Tigray region wants complete withdrawal of Eritrean military from Tigray, which has not happened so far. Eritrea wants complete disarmament of Tigray fighters, which hasn't happened either. It means there are still unresolved issues. Let's see what happens in upcoming talks in Nairobi, Kenya this week. But so far, both sides are accusing each other of stalling the implementation of the peace deal. Secondly, was Oromia, a region of Ethiopia where large number of Ethiopian National Defense Force units are heading towards Valaga. In Valaga, we are seeing that we saw that Oromia Special Force, Oromia Regional Police, and Amhara forces, they fought. Some say those were not Amhara fighters, Amhara Fano fighters. They're actually locals who have been armed to defend from OLA's attacks. So there was fighting between armed locals or Amhara Fano militia members and regional forces. Regional forces were supported by OLA as well, reportedly. Then Ethiopian National Defense Force intervened. Now, reportedly, Oromia regional forces have been told to withdraw from parts of Valaga. ENDF wants to be in command in Valaga for a major operation against Oromo Liberation Army. That is why a large number of ENDF troops are entering Western Oromia, Valaga. Some say that General Zaidu Bale of Ethiopian National Defense Force has been made in charge of operation in Oromia. He will command this entire operation. Some say he is an Amhara by ethnicity. People always try to find ethnicity of persons in Ethiopia when they are in power. When people in power make decisions, people try to know from which ethnic group they are. And reportedly, Zaidu Bale is from ethnic Amhara group. So he is in charge of operation against Oromo Liberation Army in Valaga. Oromia Special Force, Oromia Police is being told to withdraw from Valaga. Why? Because there are concerns that some elements in regional forces support Oromo Liberation Army, and that if regional and federal forces tried to jointly launch an operation against OLA, it wouldn't succeed. That is why regional forces are being told to withdraw. What about armed ethnic Amhara locals in Valaga? Will they be disarmed? Will they agree to be disarmed? And what about presence of Amhara, Fano, and other militias in Valaga? By the way, it seems that Amhara region-based groups are taking this position that they are not operating in Valaga, but they have armed local ethnic Amharas in Valaga. And these armed people are just like militias. So that is why this issue is very complicated issue. Now, ENDF is trying to resolve this issue by telling Oromia forces to withdraw from parts of Valaga, and then maybe ENDF could take action against armed local ethnic Amharas we could see start of disarmament campaign. Oromia regional forces tried to disarm ethnic Amharas, but when they tried to do it, we saw that forces and militias from the Amhara region, they intervened in support of ethnic Amharas in Valaga. Same could happen. Let's see how ENDF tackled the situation in Valaga. ENDF will have to see that ethnic Amharas don't turn against it. At the same time, it will have to ensure that regional government, regional forces of Oromia don't turn against ENDF, and then it will have to ensure that OLA is kept in check. So it's a difficult task for General Zaidu Bale of ENDF in Oromia. Thirdly, viewers, a Balderas party member has been arrested. His name is Natnael Alemzewed, who was arrested in Addis Ababa a few hours ago. Details have not been shared, but he is a political party member, an active political worker. He was arrested a few years ago as well, and once again he is in prison. So arrests continue of those people who are trying to criticize the government, who are trying to challenge government's policies and who are opposing government's policies. Whoever questions government's policies is arrested. That is how government tries to control parties, control groups operating in Ethiopia. And lastly, viewers, in October, member of parliament from the Somali region of Ethiopia was killed at Jigjiga airport. Jaweria Subcis was the name of the member of parliament from the Somali region. And there at Jigjiga airport, a member of a federal force randomly shot at the people who were at the airport. And in that incident, Jaweria Subcis was killed. Now, the accused was arrested, and today he was sentenced to death by a court. So, Jaweria Subcis killer has been sentenced to death. A speedy justice, at least, that the case was finalized in just 2 months. Incident happened, I think it happened on the 25th of October. So it took less than 2 months for this case to be finalized by the concerned court. Thank you for watching.